August 22nd, I am starting my first of the second cutting. Starting right off in the first fields that I had cut back in mid-June. So likewise, we're right on schedule here as far as what you would predict. Started cutting hay about 3 weeks late, so second cutting's about 3 weeks late. So I'm in a field of orchard grass alfalfa mix. Kind of an older field. A lot of people wouldn't really consider this an alfalfa hay. It's not. It's really predominantly grass hay with some alfalfa in it. And you know, I'm managing the cutting heights here by not tilting the mower deck. Put on really good sharp knives on the second cutting. I make sure everything is sharpened, or brand new knives, and the vacuum pressure, the lifting ability of the knives is pretty darn good. And you know, it raises it up. These grasses, I do want to nurture them. If you're managing for alfalfa, you cut low. If you're managing for the grasses, you cut a little bit higher. Now, we had several years ago in Michigan here, we had rough stalk bluegrass as an invader in a lot of hay and wheat, winter wheat fields. And as you might imagine, it might be tough to control. Bluegrass can make good forage when you cut it early. However, if you can't get to it real early, it will, it turns brown like straw, loses its palatability, and just discolors the whole bale of hay. So it's in August here. I do have some bluegrass coming up here in the second cutting, which the second cutting bluegrass isn't as bad as the first cutting, but it just does not have a lot of palatability once you bale it. I know in horse pastures, you know, Kentucky bluegrass along with you know, Dutch white clover is quite desirable because it tolerates close grazing and cutting. And for that reason, I feel in the last several years I've been pretty successful managing cutting height, mostly for orchard grass and not for alfalfa. If you cut real low, you're going to be helping that bluegrass quite a bit. And you know, the orchard grass will not compete as well. You know, same if you're going to put Timothy in with your alfalfa. You will have a bluegrass issue if you are going to try to control the bluegrass. I mean, you're going to have to use like a herbicide program or something, which won't be compatible with your Timothy growth. So I'll get out of the tractor here and I'll do a close-up here of what I see in the field. See here, this would be your bluegrass, and most likely this is the rough stalk bluegrass, and they say it has like a boat-shaped tip of the leaf, like a bow of a boat, I guess is where they come up with this. You know, here's the orchard grass. You know, I've got more bluegrass in here than what I wanted. Maybe it's just having a good year. I did not see a ton of bluegrass in the first cutting. I think the orchard grass did a really good job out competing this. The alfalfa definitely is way past its prime, but the alfalfa is such an insignificant component in this older field now as far as forage volume compared to what it used to be, that I'm really, you know, have to manage mainly for the alfalfa now. There's enough legume here, which is going to give me some nitrogen credits for my grass growth. But yeah, let me show you the cutting height. So, you know, I'm probably at that 3 to 4 inch cutting height. I could tilt the deck down lower, get an inch or two lower, and I really don't know, you know, on a field this size. So this is a 16-acre field. What are you going to gain? Another 20 bales or something for, you know, out of the whole field cutting that low? not a lot. You can see this is pretty low yielding. Got some good spots though of the field, a little bit higher yielding. But you can definitely see that bluegrass in here. Maybe it was a good year for it. So if this has got a good flush of tillering this fall, probably likely in the spring, this will again be the first field I cut. And that's basically how I have controlled this rough stalk bluegrass through the years. I know the winter wheat people up in the thumb of Michigan are having a hell of a time controlling this in winter wheat. You know, you throw some nitrogen on that wheat, and this rough stalk bluegrass gets like 3 or 4 foot tall. Does make great forage if you cut it early enough in the first cutting. The second cutting though, this doesn't have a lot of palatability. Horses don't really care for it a whole lot in the bale. If you got it mixed well enough with the orchard grass and the alfalfa, you know, I think they eat it just fine. But you don't want to get any more bluegrass in the bale than this, even though bluegrass is a pretty important component of horse pasture mixes. All right, well, you know, I haven't heard a lot of discussion on rough stalk bluegrass and hay fields for quite a few years now. Until last summer, we had a forage tour up in the thumb, and an alfalfa grower was having problems with it. And that's kind of the first mention I've heard of it in a while. But if any of you are having problems with bluegrass in your hay fields, I'd be interested to hear from you and see your comments or any information you might have about cutting height. All right, thanks for tuning in.